Yeah, hello, this is the return of Sbc Goalsphere. It's been a while, but we're back and we're going to be more consistent as this Premier League season rolls on. Expect a lot more content coming from Premier League, um, Champions League, World Cup qualifying, which is going to really kick on with the World Cup, the playoffs coming with all those top teams, the Italy, Portugal, Wales, Scotland, all that. Um, North American qualifying is going to come to an end, and it's going to be really juicy second half of the season with some surprises coming from countries like Canada and all that. So yeah, a lot of more SBC Goalsphere content going to be coming up, hopefully. So please subscribe and like the videos so we can get spread. But today we're going to talk about the biggest league in the world, the Premier League. And after the first set of Boxing Day fixtures, this is how the standings holding up. A lot of teams that don't have games in hands yet and all that because of COVID and all that. But right now, this is what the thing looks like. So, Imran, real quickly, Man City top of the league, Liverpool second, Chelsea tied with them at third. Liverpool having a game in hand right now. This title race, real quickly. What are your thoughts on it so far? Roughly halfway through the season.
I mean, I know we haven't talked in a long time, but it's a three-team race, obviously. Man City,
Man,
Liverpool.
oh yes. Thank you for that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you did think it was a four-team race, and you did think Man United were finishing.
Ages ago, yeah.
And you did think Man United before the season began, and you did think Man United would finish second ahead of Liverpool and Chelsea. And guys, I just wanted to let you know, this is before Cristiano Ronaldo came in. This is before he came in. He had them finishing second. Am I lying?
No.
Gave me okay. Ahead of Chelsea and 2 spots ahead of Liverpool. Just wanted to remind the crowd as we proceed.
Anyways, City right now look really good, and they have this better squad than both Liverpool and Chelsea right now, and they're in really good form. City look the most dominant team to me right now. Liverpool, they've been consistent. Like they've only lost one game so far this season. They're gonna have players out for African Cup of Nations, which could be troubling, but they've been really good. I think they
Salah
got
and
max
Mane.
points. Yeah, they got max points in Champions League, I believe. And Chelsea, as of recent, their performances haven't been that great. I know they've had some players out with COVID
and
some
injuries.
injuries. Yeah, I was about to say. But
A lot
as
of
of right now,
players.
to me, Man City are the clear favorite.
Yeah. Chelsea have been very inconsistent of late, breaking down opponents, especially teams that are not attacking them, against lesser teams, and they have been conceding a few more goals recently, which has been a little bit concerning. But for me, there's been two main issues with Chelsea on why they're not closer to City and ahead of Liverpool. That's all the injuries and COVID. They have so much. It's too many. I can't even list them out. It's like every week there's a new player going down. It's really, really, really annoying. And it starts off with that $100 million Lukaku, who's basically missed most of this season so far. It's just been really, 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 really frustrating missing all those players. And that's the only reason why there's a gap. There is that. And the other thing is, in my opinion, some people say the issue of this is playing a back five and we need to switch to a back four. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest, let's do that of that, even though I don't mind that idea. But for me, the biggest problem with Chelsea so far in these last couple of games is nonchalant. So many sideways passes, not going fast enough, and not moving the ball quicker. Chelsea have a very slow buildup. Man City does too. But one thing you can say about Man City is they move the ball quickly and get you in uncomfortable areas. Chelsea, the amount of times they go slow side to side. They don't get the ball. Nobody drives forward with the ball in the midfield. Nobody makes that creative pass, quick 1-2. None of that. It's all slow build up. And that's part of the reason that's been the problem with Chelsea, lack of scoring goals. And when you're missing $100 million man Lukaku and your other striker Timo Werner, that's difficult too. But I still think this gap that there is right now, I think Chelsea are very, very unfortunate in my opinion. I don't think they're 6 points. Man City is very, very good, but I don't think they're 6 points worse than City, and I don't think they're a worse team than Liverpool.
But they've
I don't.
been really tight games they've gotten away with. Not just recent, like a while ago even.
Yeah,
Like
but there's
they
been
were
game.
Mendy was saving them sometimes, or
Yeah,
really great defensive performances.
but there's been games where they completely dominated teams 23, 24, 25 shots, and they've came out and dropped points out of them. There's been those kind of games too, against Everton, against the other one was against uh was it against Everton? There was another one. Oh, Burnley. That Burnley game, that 1-1 where we dropped points at home. Against Liverpool, we were up 1-0. A double penalty, a double red card penalty puts them back into the game 1-1 at Anfield. Um, you know, I don't think like genuinely there was one horrible, horrible game, and that's when Man City came to town and completely dominated us.
Yeah, yeah.
That was bad. Which was down to happen. I mean, we beat them 3 straight games the year before. They were eventually going to end their luck. But at the end of the day, the good thing about the situation is Chelsea is despite the fact that they're 6 points behind, which is really, it's really devastating. Thinking about how well we were playing this season and letting COVID and injuries really just make that gap what it is. Because Man City hasn't had to face those COVID and injuries. Yes, they've had disciplinary issues. Liverpool definitely hasn't faced any problems so far this season, despite Jurgen Klopp constant complaining, getting sick and tired of him. And the man,
Even
what's
Tuchel is complaining about COVID and
yeah,
stuff.
but Tuchel's kind of right. Against Wolves, we had 2 goalkeepers. We had Kovacic, Saul, and some other guy on the bench. 3
This is my
outfield
opinion
players.
on like COVID in general about every team. If you have enough players to play, just play. Like even for United, I wanted them to play, but they only had like they didn't even have 11 players. I think if you have 2 goalkeepers and 14 outfield players, you should play. Or yeah, 14 up. That's what I think. Because you can't just stop. You can't just shut down games and then restart, and the season will be extended even longer and all that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying they should have. I'm saying I'm just defending Tuchel why he was complaining. You just there's a legitimate reason. Chelsea have been missing a lot of players, and that is the
Yeah,
reason why
yeah.
there's a reason why this point gap it's where it is. And I think we should see more of Chelsea going against the back four against these lower end teams because teams are not going to open up an attack against them, and there's not going to be space to attack. So with that extra man in the midfield driving forward, making more forward passes, I think that better. I think we are missing Ben Chilwell a lot. Um, we're missing now that N'Golo Kante is back is a great addition. He created that goal against Aston Villa, winning the ball back quickly, driving forward, finding I believe it was one of the midfield player. I think it was Jorginho who ended up finding Callum Hudson-Odoi. I'll have to re-see it, but it was N'Golo Kante recovering the ball. The defense hasn't been great of lately, but I think they'll get back to the clean sheets doing what they do best. And I was saying, right, despite the point gap, which is devastating, Chelsea still kind of control their own destiny because they get to face Liverpool and Manchester City in this next month. So the more and more they can get their players back healthy, in form, Lukaku healthy, in form, he's still not completely healthy, still not completely fit yet. The more and more they can get them, they can go into the stretch and crucial run against the Liverpool, against the cities, and they could easily get themselves back into this title race. They
Plus,
have
they
it in
can.
them.
The Champions League games are coming up, and if you're gonna play these games right now, you get them out of the way. That can be really good fitness wise, and you know, you don't have to worry about 2 big games in a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a little
Let's,
unfortunate that we play Liverpool literally a day before Mo Salah and Sadio Mane get to leave.
yeah.
That's unfortunate, but I mean, no excuses. We
Well,
can't be
no,
banking on people
actually, I'm
leaving.
happy about that as a neutral. But
No, I'm no as a
yeah,
Chelsea,
I know,
but
I know.
it is what it is. Chelsea, they'll have to
But
do
you
the
also have
job,
the
but we
Club
get
World
to
Cup
control.
and all that, so
You gotta control our destiny. Yeah, we have the Club World Cup. Lord, don't get me started. That just gives me
just drop out
stress.
from that.
No, no. Me personally, for me, it's important because the last time we won the Champions League, we didn't win that tournament. We haven't won the Club World Cup, so me, I value that trophy.
I was joking, but yeah.
So yeah, so we talk about the title race right now. Um, right now, can all 3 of these teams still win the title, Imran?
I think all three teams are in the title race, but
Can all
I
three
mean,
of those teams win?
yes,
Can all
yes,
those can all three of those teams win the title?
yes. But I
If
favor Man City by a good margin.
if you had to rank those three, how would you rank them?
Like they are.
Okay.
I might, yeah, like
I,
they are, but
I, I'd
Chelsea
go.
and Liverpool can flip
I'd
flop.
go. I'd go. What's it called? I think this is still a title race. I think Chelsea control it into their own hands. I'd have to rank
Actually,
them.
I would flip Chelsea and
I
Liverpool because how long are the how long are Sadio and Mane gone? I mean, God, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah gone. So that'll be key.
all
If
right.
they're
Listen.
not
Listen.
gone
Listen.
too
Listen.
long,
Listen.
then
Listen. 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 These are the Premier League fixtures they're gonna miss: Brentford, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Burnley.
that's 4 games. Um,
No, they might be back for Burnley, depending on when they get knocked out. But most likely, the most likely, because there's EFL and FA Cup coming up, most likely they're definitely missing Brentford and Crystal Palace. And the Leicester City is they'll be back for Leicester actually, because the tournament ends February 3rd. Maybe they get a break, but definitely Liverpool, Brentford and Crystal Palace will be the 2 games they miss.
I'll go Liverpool second.
All right, I'm gonna go Man City number 1. I'm gonna go. I think all three teams are still a title contender. I'm going Man City 1. I'm going Chelsea 2. I think Liverpool 3. I think at the end of the day, I think Chelsea is a bit more consistent than Liverpool if they could get all their players back. I think when I went back and saw that, when I look back, I think back and I saw that game against Liverpool at Anfield, I was just so impressed with Chelsea that day. I thought they were much better than Liverpool. Despite the stats saying Liverpool were better, I think it had all to do with that red card. I think Chelsea
But
were unlucky not
that
to
was a
be
long
down
time ago,
2-0.
though.
That was a long time ago, but that was the last time we had all of our players back. Now we're getting our player. Now we're slowly getting more of our players back. And now we beat Aston Villa, which was a huge win at Villa Park. And when you compare our performances to their performances, I don't know. I mean, I think we're the
I
better
think
team.
Liverpool are just so good at getting results when they need them. I mean, they have the experience from previous years, and they're just following it game after game, pretty much. I know they've been drawing a cup every now and then. But
Yeah, I mean, I just think we're a better team than Liverpool. It could go either way, but I'm gonna say us too. But I don't think it's over by any means. And Man City is the decent favorite because 6 points is a big gap. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. And Man City, they could drop points. It's possible. Uh they still have Chelsea coming up. They have to face Liverpool again. They have to face Arsenal again. They have to face
everyone pretty much
Tottenham.
19 games to go.
Yeah, yeah. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. They have to face all the top 6 teams again. Same with the other teams too. But yeah. So okay.
Now gets the good stuff.